Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back this week with another video for you guys. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Paolian family. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, or even if you're not new, thank you so much for being here with me today. Subscribe if you haven't already down below and like this video if you like it. But today we're gonna be trying out this new makeup hack that I've seen going around for a long time now, and that is putting on powder before doing your foundation. Now, if you've been on YouTube for a while, you've probably seen people do this before. So I'm gonna be trying out that little makeup hack I was talking about, and I'm gonna be using my Airspun, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime my skin, I'm gonna put powder on top of my primer, and then I'm gonna put on my foundation. And the reason why that's like really strange is because you're usually told that you should never mix powders with creams because that will just be a mess. But I've seen it work for some other people, so I'm gonna try it out and I'm gonna show you guys, does this really work or is it just a scam? So without further ado, let's go right into applying our powder before our foundation. And I'm so excited to do this, but you know what, let's just get started. Okay guys, so for primer today, I'm gonna be using the Mercier foundation primer and Radiance. And the reason why I'm using this primer is because it is it's a little more liquidy. It's not as dense or silicone-y as the Professional, which I also love, don't get me wrong, but I love this primer. But I feel like this primer will be better to set than a silicone primer that could really just ruin my makeup. So okay, so now that I primed my skin, I'm gonna go in and set that primer with some translucent powder. And I'm gonna be using my Acti blending sponge, like this side, and I'm just gonna dip it into my Airspun powder, like this, and let's just get to setting our face before doing our foundation. This feels so weird. I've heard that this hack works better if you have oily skin. So I'm gonna tell you guys right off the bat, I don't have the oiliest skin ever. I do get really oily on my nose, on my T-zone right here, and a little bit on the chin. So that is where I will apply the most powder. As you can see, I'm kind of rolling in the powder with my sponge. Apparently, this is supposed to make your foundation last longer, to make it look a little more flawless, and this is supposed to make your foundation a little more matte. And that is why I used my Radiance primer, because I noticed that when I use my Radiance primer with my Makeup Forever HD foundation, which would be the foundation I will be using, when I combine those two, it can get quite oily on my nose and on my forehead. So I'm gonna see if that doesn't happen trying out this makeup hack right here. I'm gonna put a little more on my nose because that's where I usually get oily. I've also heard this is really good to fill in your pores, which, I mean, that's amazing if it actually does work. Okay guys, so my primer is set, so I'm just gonna zoom you guys in a little bit. As you can tell, my skin looks pretty much normal. I don't see any difference. It does look more matte than usual with this primer. This primer usually makes me look very luminous. It looks pretty matte, but it feels really soft and nice. And I can't see why this is actually a good thing to do before your foundation, because it feels so soft. Okay, so for foundation, I'm gonna be using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in shade Y245. Now, I've been using this ever since I started my channel like 8 months ago, and I still love this foundation. This foundation is one of the best foundations I have ever tried. And I'm just gonna put this in the back of my hand. I'm gonna do 2 pumps first, and I'm gonna apply it to my face with my beauty blender. I do love this foundation, however, it does get oily around my nose, which is why I chose to use this foundation for this trick, because this trick is supposed to make your foundation last longer, and this foundation is not my longest lasting foundation. So if this can make my foundation last all night, then I'm down to do this every single day, because who doesn't want to be flawless and have your makeup look flawless all day? I mean, that's like everyone's goal. Okay. Initial application, it is applying really nicely as per usual. It is not really getting cakey or anything. It actually looks really nice. I was actually really scared that it would get like really cakey and look bad, but so far so good. It's looking pretty flawless. You know, I'm not mad at this at all. I dropped my sponge! Okay guys, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. As you can tell, my skin looks so flawless right now. I am so impressed. Usually I am impressed with this foundation, like, let's be honest, it's like the best foundation on this planet. But right now it looks better than what I remembered. I can see some of my pores still, even though I put the powder there, but it is way less than what I'm used to seeing with this foundation, and my nose doesn't look as shiny either. It just overall looks really, really, really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put on concealer to show you guys if anything changes. So far, powder under foundation is working amazingly. But I guess the real test will be the wear test. So I will definitely be doing check-ins for you guys. Since I'm using my favorite foundation, I'm gonna be using my favorite concealer, and that is my Naked Skin Concealer in Night Neutral. What? Night Neutral, Light Neutral. I'm just blending that in. That definitely blended out really nice. Okay guys, so those are all my liquid products on my skin. I have to say, it looks pretty flawless right now. Like, I can barely see my pores. It looks pretty nice. It doesn't look too oily, which usually happens when I use a Radiance primer with a more moisturizing foundation and a very liquidy concealer. And usually when I put those three together, it's like oil slick. But today it looks so good, and it has to be because of the powder. I'm so excited to see how this wears. So I'm gonna be doing my powders, and I know it's kind of like another layer of makeup when you put the powder down there, because it's like you do primer and then you do powder and then you do foundation and then you do powder again. So it's like a lot of powder, but I'm gonna be doing the rest of my powders, and I will be right back to chat with you guys and tell you exactly what I think of this really cool but seems to work technique. Okay guys, so I'm back, and as you can see, I finished my face, powder, contour, highlights, lips, everything, and I have to say, I haven't had this good of a skin day in a while. Like, it's been a while. Like, it looks so flawless and smooth. As you can see, I can barely see my pores. It doesn't look oily at all whatsoever. I mean, I do have highlighter on, so that's like the shine you can see, but like, looking at it from like on camera, it looks pretty good. I am so glad that this turned out so well. If this stays looking like this all night, which I will be doing check-ins for you guys, but if it stays like this, I think this is gonna be like my new little trick and addition into my foundation routine, because if it looks really, really nice. Like, oh my gosh. So you guys, so far, putting your powder before your foundation is working out for me. Everything else on my skin went out really nicely, but on my next check-in, I will give you guys some of their thoughts to see if this changes or not. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, hello guys. So this is my first check-in, and it is currently 9:15 at night. I did my makeup at around 3:30, so it has been almost 6 hours since I've had my foundation on. Now, I have not touched up whatsoever. I haven't really powdered, I haven't done anything, like none of that. And I have to say, I am so impressed of just how well the foundation has held up all day. Like, oh my god, like, I've had this foundation for around 6 months now, and whenever I wore it, like 4 hours after just getting it done, it always got really oily on my nose and on my forehead and on my chin, because it is a more luminous foundation. But doing that powder trick before the foundation has been a lifesaver. Like, I think that I'm not ever gonna use this foundation again without putting powder on before, because it's still kind of shiny on my nose, but it's not really oily. It's not bothering me at all whatsoever. It looks pretty flawless. It looks more flawless than usual, and if you've used the Makeup Forever foundation, you know that foundation is good, but with that powder trick, it's even better. So yeah, I'm just gonna zoom you guys in a little closer. So as you guys can tell, it looks pretty flawless. It's just a little oily on my nose, and it kind of creased on my smile lines, but that happens with every foundation, so that doesn't really bother me that much. What I've noticed is that it's not creasing as much as it does without the powder before the foundation. So yeah, I'm gonna go do some other stuff now. I'm gonna go see It, which I'm so excited about. I've been wanting to see that movie forever. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on like the makeup tutorial on like the clown from It, definitely let me know. I'm gonna go watch the movie right now, and I'm so excited. I know it's kind of late, it's like 9:30, but you know what, I don't care. So I'll be back in 3 hours to give you guys my final thoughts, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Well, hello guys, so this is gonna be my last check-in for today. I mean, kind of yesterday. It's already 1 in the morning. It's like 1:01 in the morning. Yeah, I just got back, and I have to say, my nose did get a little oily. As you can tell, I look like a mess right now. I'm sorry, I look like a mess right now, but it did get oily around my nose and a little bit on my forehead. It didn't really get oily on my chin. What I'm gonna say is this trick works. If you have oily skin, I would highly, highly recommend this. So if you really want this trick to lock in your oil for a very, very, very long time, I would recommend wearing a more mattifying foundation. However, not a foundation that is too matte. You don't want to go for something like the Kat Von D Tattoo foundation, because that would be just way too much. But this trick really works. I highly approve of it. I think it's gonna be like my new staple in my foundation routine. I have a foundation routine up, but I think I'm gonna have to do it again because this trick has to be in there. My foundation hasn't stayed on this long for a very, very long time. Mind you, it has been 10 hours since I put on my foundation. I haven't touched up once, not even once. I haven't even gone in with my beauty blender. I haven't powdered, nothing. This is like, I haven't done anything to my makeup ever since I got out of here at 3 p.m. So yeah guys, I really, really like this trick. However, if you have dry skin, I wouldn't really recommend it, because it is keeping your oils in, like locked in your skin, because you're setting your primer and then you're putting foundation and then you're setting your foundation. So if you have really, really dry skin, I would not recommend this, because you will look really, really dry. But overall, putting this guy right here, powder, before your foundation does work. It is not a scam. It actually does work really well, and I was actually kind of skeptical when I started this video, because I've seen so many mixed reviews on these. There's people that are like, oh no, it makes your foundation all cakey, and then there's people like Jackie Aina, whose foundation looks freaking flawless every time she does this. So I highly recommend this trick. I will be doing it from now on constantly, so I will probably upload another foundation routine in a couple months to show you guys how that's going. But yeah, doing your powder before your foundation is not a makeup don't anymore. We're breaking all the rules. So yeah guys, that is what I'm gonna finish off for today, because it's like 1 in the morning. I'm so tired and I'm ready to take this makeup off. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it, and let me know in the comments if you're gonna try this out, because I definitely think you should. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I mean, please. My birthday's tomorrow, and I really wanted to get to 100 subscribers, so subscribe, and I will see you on in the next one. Bye guys.